And look who's joining us once again, a dear friend of our show and our series, The Jim Masters Show. It is the incomparable entertainer, musician, singer, actress, author extraordinaire, and the first cousin of the iconic Elvis Presley. She's making her return visit once again, the always beautiful inside and out. And our great friend Donna Presley is
Hey,
here in a look at the setting of her home with the Christmas tree. And I tell you, it's all so beautifully color coordinated. It's magic. Welcome, my friend.
thank you. It's great. I've missed you.
I missed you too. And that's why we said, you know what? Let's reconnect because I think this is your third visit with us, third or fourth, maybe. And you always have some new exciting things to share and things to celebrate. And of course, we always honor the incomparable cousin of yours,
Oh,
Elvis, but the entire family. And you have some wonderful things that you've been working on. And there's a film coming out that you're involved in too, and a lot of wonderful things. So thanks so much for joining us. And how have you been, my friend?
well, I have been extremely busy, but doing great. I mean, I love it. So many good things and new things have happened for me. I'll soon be releasing my first single, and then I'm involved in a film. So I'm very excited about that because that's something I've always wanted to do. And it's finally happening. So it's called The Gaslight Killer, and I play a detective on it, so I'm loving it.
Yes, you do. And that's kind of cool, huh? We have the graphic right there. That
Mhm.
is the poster for it. Um, so you are playing a detective?
Yes, I am.
Wow, how cool is that, huh? How
Uh,
did this happen for you, this opportunity?
Well,
Congratulations on this movie.
well,
Coming
thank you. Actually, it was through a mutual friend, who knew the writers of the film and who's producing it, and so they got me in contact with Glenda Baker and Tina Marie Celine, and it just worked out for me. So I'm just really thrilled about the whole thing. So I mean, my favorite shows or movies are the kind that where there's a lot of intrigue and I love detective shows and things like that. So for this to happen, it is a dream come true for her, definitely.
Do you enjoy that element? Because, of course, you and your family is so attached to music and
Yeah.
performance. Do you like the acting and getting in front of the camera and taking on roles like that, Don?
Well, I believe I'm going to. We start filming in February, so I'm looking really forward to it. I mean, it's something new to me, but it's always been a dream of mine to happen. And I think the last time that I saw you, I told you, you asked me, you said, "What's one thing that you haven't done that you'd like to do?" And I said, "I'd like to try acting." And then this just came about. So when you called and said, "Would you like to be on the show?" I thought, "Oh, this is awesome." I'll have to tell him, "I did it. I did it."
You did it. You did it. So let's see if I asked again, what would be next? Skydiving or something? And the next time you
Well,
come on, you'll show us pictures of the skydiving. Is that what?
you never know. Never say never.
Never say never. Donna and I were having so many laughs before we weren't on the air live. We're coming at you live right now. For those that are joining us live, we welcome everybody to the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment, Lifestyle, Celebrity Talk Show series, beaming all around the world here from the New York area in the United States. But we've got an international audience. Donna Presley, of course, joining us. We were having so much fun with the technology beforehand, plugging this in and doing that and to make it all come to life. And I don't know what's funnier. It
I,
was hilarious.
I have to admit I'm technologically challenged, so it was it was probably something I did or didn't do. So
You don't look technologically challenged considering that beautiful tree behind you there,
well,
Don.
thank you very much. I love Christmas. It's my favorite time of year, so I try.
Mine too. Yes. Now, you were telling me that is one of three
Yes.
trees in your house.
Uh-huh. Yes. I'd decorate a tree for every room if I could. I really would.
You that is fantastic. Is decorating, and interior design, things of that nature, something that comes naturally for you, Donna, something you really, really enjoy?
I do. I really enjoy it. I love taking a room or something and painting it and decorating and making it come to life. So I enjoy that sort of thing. So that's something because you asked me the last time if I baked or if I did any gardening, which I don't, but I do love to decorate and paint and things like that. So just give me a paintbrush and get out of my way. I'm ready to go.
So what do you like to paint? Everything or?
I like to paint the walls and different colors and accents and things like that, and then matching fabrics and just different furniture and pictures and so forth. So I love doing that. It's just something I guess it's just a love of mine that's always been.
You're always ultra creative. Do you, during the holiday time, do you make some of the gifts? Have you done that over the years as well?
I have done some of that over the years, yes, but it's usually I go buy it, but sometimes it's just better if you can just make something, and it feels more personal and things like that. So yeah, I do that sometimes.
You've been so good at celebrating the legacy of the family. Of course, you have your own extraordinary career and you're very talented and you're always performing and doing incredible things. That obviously the talent is buried within the family. It's in the genes, it's in the DNA. And you love people and you love performing, you love entertaining them as well.
Yeah,
Um, but you've also been so good at celebrating the legacy of your first cousin, your beloved Elvis.
yeah.
And there's so much always written about, talked about, celebrated,
Mhm.
shared, guessed about Elvis as well. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you do that in such a grand style, celebrating the legacy and keeping the legacy intact.
Mhm. Well, it's going on 48 years now, Jim, since he passed away. And yet he's still touching lives today as much, if not more so, than he was when he walked this earth. He was just such a warm and kind and loving and generous person. And I don't mean just generosity of monies or anything like that, but of his spirit and who he was and the way he felt. He always cared about so much about other people and always wanted to make everybody else feel happy and feel like to give them what they needed, whether it was money or spiritual or whatever. I mean, he would pray with you, he would talk with you, he would do whatever he felt that you needed. And you know I get letters and emails and things from all over the world, even today, and from people that were not even alive when Elvis was alive. And they say, Elvis and who he was and what he stood for changed the trajectory of my life. And, how can you not, be thankful and continue to represent what he stood for? Because he was touched by God to do special and amazing things, and he's still doing. God's still using him even though he's no longer on this earth.
He really is. I
Yeah.
mean, there's certain people that in society and in entertainment or just in, culture that are revered, missed,
Mhm.
and still celebrated, and people are still curious about. And Elvis is right there
Yeah.
along with people like a Lucille Ball and others where there's just this club of people who maybe Michael Jackson in there as well. People who uh, the fans, the supporters, the lovers of the person, the music, support and still love and still connect with all these years later,
Yeah.
and they're at iconic status. And whatever
Hmm.
it is about that person,
Hmm.
they can't get enough of it. What do you think? And I know we talked a little bit about it in the past, but maybe for new viewers that are watching, what do you think it is about Elvis Presley specifically that still resonates so loudly, so strongly with so many people, really of all different generations? Because younger generations also discover the music,
Hmm.
discover his legacy, maybe the movies, take a look at some of the video of the stage performances and different things like that. They read the books, they do all of it. What do you think it is about Elvis as a family member who knew him so well that continues to keep that legacy, that enduring legacy, intact?
Well, I think it's because of not only, it goes without saying, he was the greatest entertainer that ever walked on a stage, but he was also such a wonderful and kind and loving and respectful person. He was kind to everybody. He was respectful of everyone. If he walked into a room, he spoke to everyone. He shook everybody's hand. He never turned down, someone asking for an autograph. He never turned down at someone asking for a photo with him or anything like that. He loved people. He loved his fans. He loved being able to share and do for others. And he said many times, he said, I would be remiss in what God has blessed me with if I didn't share it with others. And so not only did he want to take care of his family and want us around, because he knew that we loved him no matter who he was or what he was, whether his name was Elvis or Elvis Presley. And so he loved having, family around. But he also was so kind and so warm and so giving to every person. And I think that he stood for, he never failed to stand up on stage and stand up for his faith in God and for love of family and friends. And he was loyal, he was loving, he was caring and generous. And so, when you have someone like that, I mean, he embodies everything good that's in the world. So definitely, I think that's why he's still remembered.
Absolutely right. And, and people really, it's kind of interesting. He was able to master something that is very artful,
Hmm.
where, women really loved his voice
Hmm.
and his look and his swagger and all the unique traits of Elvis.
Hmm.
Um, and men had respect for him.
Hmm.
So garnering the respect of the guys and the love and adulation of the women and all of it, and blending, all of that back and forth, everybody respecting and having the adulation for him. But to be able to garner all of that is not easy to garner, but he always able to do that.
Yeah, he definitely was. And he was an ordinary guy. He really was. But he was touched by God to do extraordinary things and to be an extraordinary person. And there's never been another one like him, nor will there ever be. So I think that, people realize that he was one of a kind, and the mold was broken when he left this earth, and that was it. And so it's left up to the rest of us who knew him, who loved him, and was loved by him, to try our best to continue the legacy that he left us.
Absolutely. Since we chatted last, I believe,
Mhm.
Lisa Marie had unfortunately passed, and condolences continued to you and to
Thank you.
to the Presley family and everybody who knew and loved her so deeply. And yeah, she is still greatly missed on so many different levels, wouldn't you say, Don?
Definitely. I mean, Lisa was well, she was her daddy dead out. I mean, it was like, he just, she just became him. So, I mean, she looked like him. She acted like him. She had great talent like him. And, she was a loving and warm and kind person. And, you know, I, she represented him, so, naturally she's very, very loved and very missed by everyone. And she died, as Elvis did, way too soon.
Absolutely. There's as you're continuing to celebrate all the wonderful things, Elvis as well, in addition to the amazing work that you do, you have been traveling the world and you have been going to some really spectacular places, even places that Elvis
Yeah,
himself went
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Tell us about this. This is really something quite
Well,
special.
yeah, that was Bad Nauheim, and I was doing the tour, the follow in the footsteps of Elvis, and I was in Bad Nauheim 2 years ago, and then this past August, I was at the European Elvis Festival, which is in Bad Nauheim. And I mean, what an amazing time I had. It was wonderful. The fans there are so fabulous. And to be there where he walked and where he stood, and to take photos at the same places that he was in. It was like he was there with me. And there's one photo of me, and it wasn't intentional, but it just kind of worked out the way. There was a photo of me standing beside him on the bridge there of that, and the sculpture of Elvis. And I was standing there beside him, and I had my hand on his arm, and I didn't realize it at the time till after I saw the photo, but he actually looks like he's kissing me on top of my head.
Oh boy.
And one of the fans brought it out to my attention, said he looks like he's kissing you on the top of the head. And I thought, well, that is so amazing, because I felt like, he goes with me everywhere. And so I always try to make him happy, and try to make him proud of who I am, and carrying on the legacy that he and my other family members have left me. So that just kind of really made me feel such a part of who he was, and like he's still here with me every second, because it does look like he's kissing me on top of the head, saying, "Well done, Donnie," which is what he called me. So yeah, it's special to me to have walked in his footsteps. Yeah.
Absolutely. What are some things, because you've known him as your cousin, you've known him as family,
Mhm.
for such a long time. I mean, look at this shot.
That's of course Elvis and me and my sister, and I lost my sister in June of this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, I'm very
So
sorry to hear that.
well,
Yeah,
thank you. And so this is a very special photo for me, to look back and think about that, and to see us so young. I think I was 11. I think she was 9. So
to
uh,
have such a beautiful memory like
yeah.
that, as you are continuing to celebrate and even track the footsteps of Elvis and the way you've been doing so beautifully, Donna, what are some things that you're even learning about your cousin that maybe you didn't even know yourself?
Well, I run across people all the time, and that say, well, I have an Elvis story. Everyone has an Elvis story, of some sort. And, I talk to people, and they tell me about, Elvis was stopped in the store where I was, and I was able to talk to him, and he was so kind and so sweet and so respectful. And, he made such a difference in my life. I got an email from a girl, and it's amazing the story that she was born in Poland, and at the time they couldn't speak, they weren't allowed to have English taught to them, and her mother knew a little bit, and she was listening to one of Elvis's songs when she was 7 years old, and she said that his music and his voice touched her so greatly that she wanted to learn English because she wanted to learn what he was saying. And her mother knew a little bit, and so she taught her what she knew. And then finally, they lifted the ban on teaching English. And she said, I went to university, I went to school, and I am now teaching English to others. And she said, he changed the whole trajectory of my life. And I thought, what an amazing and wonderful story that is, because Elvis was long gone by the time she was 7 years old, and heard him sing. But how he affected her in his music and his voice and who he was, she wanted to know everything about him, and learning about how he was and the kind person that he was. And he was always so thoughtful to everyone. And that you know, he bought cars for so many people. He paid hospital bills for people that he didn't even know. And if he found out you needed something, if you read something in a newspaper of something that somebody needed something, he would buy it and take it to himself. So he just there'll never be another one like him. I mean, he was such a dynamic person, such a beautiful person inside and out. He was just, there'll never be another. I don't know how to say it, but I mean, he was,
No, it's true. The world says the same
yeah,
thing. I know the
so many
uniqueness.
lives, so many different people's lives just by touching somehow.
Now, of course, you spent a long time at Graceland as a kid too, right? Tell us about
Uh,
those wonderful years. And then is it Circle K, the ranch? Yes, gee,
mhm.
right. You
Yeah,
did that
yeah.
too. Tell us about some of those beautiful memories.
Okay, well, I started spending all my summers at Graceland when I was 10 years old, and I was staying there with our grandmother Dodger. And sometimes Elvis was home, and sometimes he wasn't. But I grew up there every summer. I spent all summer long. I would pack my suitcases 2 weeks before school was over, and leave the day that before school was out or close to it, and go to Graceland. And then my parents would come pick me up and take me back home right before school started. And when I was about 14 or 15, Elvis called me and my mom and dad into the dining room. And he said, we love having Donnie here. And I'm gone a lot. And it was, so it'd be great if she could stay here and live with Dodger, and I'll send her to school and I'll buy her a car. And when she gets out of high school, whatever she wants to do, I'll help her, get into whatever field she wants. So I'm sitting here thinking, yes, yes, yes. And my dad was okay with it. My mom said, no. She's my little girl and she's going home with me. But when I was 17, he bought the Circle G Ranch. And that was in Walls, Mississippi. It was in Walls, Mississippi. It's now incorporated into Horn Lake. But anyway, I lived there from 67 to 69 when he decided to sell it. And so then my family and I moved onto the grounds of Graceland, right behind the house there. And we lived there. My parents lived there till they opened it in 1982 or 83. So, and I lived there until I married. So, yeah, I grew up there, and I was there every single day, because I went to see my grandmother and my parents every day. So I was always there. It was an amazing time. It was wonderful. It was. I know my mom used to say, when Elvis is home, it's controlled chaos. So, because you never knew what was going to happen. And I see a picture of me and Lisa when she was about 12 or 13 at that time, and we were out at the pool just goofing around with some other people and having a good time. And
That's
I
at Graceland,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
Graceland. And I look
Mm.
back at that and I think, wow, I've lived a very blessed life. And that's my mom and Aunt Delta and my grandmother. And
Mm.
yeah, so it's
So many wonderful memories, right?
so many special, wonderful memories. And there's so much love, in the family. And, you see Elvis, you see him with these, people and the children around him. And he loved children, and he was just everything you could ever possibly want to have, in your life. And had a beautiful soul, beautiful heart. And his laughter was almost like a melody. I mean, it was just amazing. The person
Yeah.
that he was.
Absolutely right. Which again, I mean, that's really nice of you guys there in that shot. I mean, all of these wonderful photos. Look at
Yeah.
this one here.
Yeah. Lisa and our grandmother Dodger and our Aunt Delta. Yeah. And that was
Wow.
grandma's room. Mhm.
That's so, when you look back, it's just so magical.
Yeah.
Look at this shot here.
Yes. That was a German girl. I think her name was Marguerite. I can't remember her last name, but yeah. Lucky
Somebody
girl.
who was lucky, yes. And look at this shot.
Yes, this was taken by Time magazine, and a lot of the family and some of the people that worked at Graceland there. We were all standing on the front porch, and of course the dogs, and it was just it was an amazing time, wonderful time.
Yes, I tell you. And
Uh,
when you look
uh,
back at it,
yeah,
yeah,
so much of my family's gone now, and then like I said, I lost my younger sister just in June, so it's dwindling fast, unfortunately.
that's what happens, right? But you are keeping, the glue. You're sort of the glue with everything, which I think is really something quite special. And you do it with such passion as well, which I think is really fantastic. I love this shot of you
Uh,
here.
yeah, actually, I was on a cruise there, and I was having a
Yes, you went on the cruise, right?
Yes, it was on a cruise this last May, and then of course I'm going on another cruise in October 11th through the 18th. It's going to Italy and France and Spain.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it a themed
super.
cruise or just getting away?
No, no, it's a work thing. It's an Elvis cruise, but
Oh, great.
with Dennis Jail and with a lot of the people that actually worked with Elvis, Glenn D. Harden, Donna Rhodes, Ginger Holiday, Larry Strickland, Shane Keister, a lot of people. And of course, Dennis Jail is he's the one that's put it all together. And I work with him a lot. And he's an amazing man.
Is it this here? Like part of look at this.
Yes, it is. It is. This will be in Nashville. This is the 90th birthday bash. That's at 3rd and Lindley. And we did it last year. And so we're making it an annual event. So this is the 90th birthday bash. So it will be an amazing time. So if anybody's,
90th birthday, huh?
yeah,
Is
nice.
that not hard to believe? Look
It,
at all the names that are going to be there, folks, and it's coming
yeah,
up. And there's their information if you want to be a part of it, and hosted by none other than our illustrious guest, Donna Presley. And that's right there in Nashville,
yeah.
Tennessee, USA. It's the 90th birthday bash, Nashville, for Elvis, which is
Yeah.
going to be something really, I mean, that's something you've been working on for a while. It takes some time to put something sizable like that, and especially the 90th birthday.
Yes, I know. It's amazing, isn't it? Paul Lime, who's the drummer, and he's an amazing person and talent and so forth. And he's worked with us an awful lot. And he's helped put this together with Dennis. And like I said, we did it last year at 3rd and Lindley, and we're doing it again this year on the 6th. And then on the 25th, we start in Austria with the TCB tour. So we'll all be together.
That's right, too. There's Austria, and tell us about that European connection and Austria and how all of that has come into the mix too, which I think is fantastic because you've been over to Europe several times in recent years.
Yes, I have. Well, in Austria, like I said, Dennis Jail, he is an entertainer there, a marvelous entertainer, and he's been doing this for many years now, and he brings people that actually knew Elvis or worked with Elvis, on stage with him, and we all come together and we do a show of Elvis's music and so forth, and of course, I talk with him, the fans and so forth about Elvis, and do a Q&A and everything for the fans. And so it's just an amazing time. And we do it every year. We do it in January, and then there are lots of other dates. I'm supposed to be in Slovenia in May, and then I'm going to be at the Mississippi Music Awards show in April, and then the cruise in October, and I'm supposed to be back in Sweden too. So I was in Sweden in July, and I spent 5 weeks there. So I do get to travel around a lot, which is an amazing thing for me because I love traveling. I love, going all over Europe and seeing fans and being able to be with them because, a lot of fans cannot come to the States. And so to be able to connect with them, and Elvis always wanted to go to Europe and always wanted to be with his European fans and get to know them and spend that energy and that time with them, and was not able to. So it's like, to be able to do that, I feel like I'm standing in his stead, and hopefully, bringing Elvis with me, and so that they know not only me, but they know Elvis as well.
Not only does she travel by air and by boat and goes on cruises and goes across America and to Europe and everywhere else, and all of these events and everything coming up, it's amazing. Donna is a multitasker. She still has time with all of that going on to vacuum the rugs in her living room too. How do you balance all that?
Very carefully. Well, actually, I hate to vacuum, but I do it when I have to. I'm not a gardener. I'm not a baker, and I hate vacuum. Just being honest, folks. Just being real.
There's no, yeah. You got that, people? That's no other way. You're real and you're authentic and you're humble and you're as Elvis as well. You talked about, he's a real person. Sure, there was the light and the stage and all of the things shining on him, but deep inside, he was still Elvis. He was, the regular guy, and still did the things he loved doing. And I think that's what is another thing that attracts people to Elvis, is even though there was the glitz and glamour and everything that Hollywood and the music industry and everything shines, all the stages and the movies and all these concerts and millions of albums. At the same time, they knew that he was still in touch with his roots, with
Right.
family, with, his mother. I mean, the grounding was still there. And, you too, I mean, you are still right there in the region that you grew up in, that you're used to, familiar with. There's something to that. Dolly Parton is the same way. I mean, there's a lot of people, I think, when they come from that Midwestern area, even though for a while they may spend time in this big city, or they may be in the south of France or whatever, they seem to come back home to where it all began, as Elvis did, as you do. What is it about that, you think, that has that draw to keep you connected to your roots, your hometown, and the things that matter most to you, and did for Elvis?
My personal belief is I don't think that you can realize where you're going if you don't remember where you've been. And so remembering your roots, remembering who you are, what you're about, you can get caught up in the glamour and the fun and the excitement of all that's going on, but you have to remember where you came from. You have to remember that, you're just a regular, ordinary person, which Elvis always did. And that he was just blessed by God to do these things. And, thankfully, the Lord has allowed me to, and Elvis to, Elvis also, if it wasn't for Elvis, I wouldn't be able to do these things, so he's still being used as a vessel by everybody. I think God is just touching people, and he's telling those of us who've known Elvis, who loved him, who was loved by him, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go out. I want you to touch these people. I want you to realize that respect and kindness and love and faith in God are the mainstays of life, because no matter how big you get, you always have to come home to realize who you really are.
That's so yeah, that's right. It's the place to be grounded. It's the place that settles you, even with all of the things that go on and the craziness that happens. And he's been a very keen observer of that during those years, which I think is fantastic. You yourself, again, very similar personality in that way. You do love when you are amongst the fans, not only keeping the Presley name alive and Elvis's memory alive, but also sharing some enjoyment and pleasure with the folks that love and celebrate you too, your own fans, because for those watching, Donna is also a brilliant entertainer as well, now getting into the acting world. So look for an Oscar soon, Academy Award coming her way. But you, you really love.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I love making you laugh. I always get you to laugh. I love it. It's the Irish in me, the Irish. That's what it's an automatic thing. The Irish, we like to have a good time and laugh. And you're a good audience. But you really do love being around people and those who appreciate what you're doing as well, right, Donna?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's so wonderful to have so many people love and support you and to follow you, what you do. And like I said, and hopefully I'm doing a good job to represent not only my Lord and Savior, but my family and myself to the best of my ability. And so to be able to be out there among people, and in some way, if I can touch someone's life, if I can make someone's day or life or even a minute better, then that's what I'm there to do.
When you are performing, people, if they haven't had a chance to see you do your thing, do
Mhm.
you incorporate Elvis material into your work and your repertoire as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I mostly do sing Elvis's music. However, thankfully, I'm had some good songwriters that have sent me some music, and so as I said, will be releasing my first single here within the next couple of months. Hopefully, that will work out everything okay. But yeah, so it's an
Congratulations on that. That's exciting, huh?
yeah, I'm excited about it. I really am. It was
Wow.
actually the song was written for Elvis, and he was not able to record it, and so they sent it to me, and so I'm the lucky one. So
Wow.
hopefully I do it justice.
So you're going to have a single out
Hmm.
that is of a song that was initially penned for Elvis, your
Yeah,
cousin,
yeah,
that you are the one that it's been gifted to
yeah,
you to
yeah.
bring to life
Right.
for all of us, for the
Yeah,
world to enjoy. How incredibly special is
yeah.
that, huh?
Very, very blessed, really. I mean, and Elvis is still, causing so many, you know, abilities for so many people. There's so many of us out there that knew Elvis and that, well, not as many as there unfortunately used to be, but that knew Elvis and he's touched our lives to be able to go out and continue the legacy that he started. And what a thrill and an honor and a pleasure it is to be able to do that. So, just I just want to do my best and make him and my family and the people who love and support me all over the world. I just want to make them happy and to please them and to do a good job for them.
That's really fantastic. What is a typical day like for you? I mean, you are running around, you're doing all these incredible things. Is there a typical day, or is always the phone ringing and then some new adventure comes your way, Donna? Because you're
Well,
always going and going, which I think is fantastic.
not every day is the phone ringing off the hook or so forth, but usually, I mean, I usually get up around 8, something like that, and start my day. And you know, I love waking up and not knowing what's going to happen that day. I love to see, the opportunities that are given to me and that I've been blessed with, and to see, how I can perform those gifts, and do those gifts, and do my best for them, and see what I can do to help other people. I am on the board of 3 companies. I'm with Choosing to Live, which is uh, something that's important to me because it gives people the opportunity and the tools to reach out if they are in thinking of ending their lives or so forth. And then there's Anthem, which is stands for Aligning Nations Together and Healing Through Education and Music. And then I'm also on the board of the Mississippi Music Foundation, which provides, you know, instruments and seminars and teaching to the young people, but also even seasoned performers that might have not been been performing their whole lives, but not have been given the breaks that other people have been able to receive. So I'm working with all those too. So I stay busy and I love it because if I'm not busy, then I feel like I'm wasting daylight.
I like that. If I'm not busy, I'm wasting daylight. I like that. There's this title of another song.
Yeah.
If I'm not busy, I'm
Hey,
wasting
songwriter,
daylight.
think about that.
Right. We're always creative when we're together. All the time we're thinking of these fun things. I love that idea. That is so true. If I'm not busy, I'm wasting daylight. It's all a matter of perspective. And what I think is a beautiful thing, talking about the grounding, and here you are, and the family has been all these years with Elvis and other members of the family, always, in the limelight and always revered, talked about, always the subject of conversation. And yet there is that grounding, that familial nature, and a very strong sense of community, as you just mentioned, with these incredible organizations that give back that you're a part of, which I think is a beautiful thing. I'm right there with you. I've always donated time and rolled up my sleeves and got involved in so many different charities and organizations, whether I'm emceeing something or what have you, whatever I can do. I think also for you, another grounding, in addition to being, and for Elvis as well, and the family, is not just the zip code where you are, but also this strong sense of faith and love of God
Yeah.
really helps get you through the ups, the downs, just life in general. Tell
Yeah.
us about how important for you that deep rooted faith is, that is something that has surrounded your family and has been called upon within the family on many occasions, which I think is an important and beautiful thing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was raised in church, Assembly of God Church, and just having that faith in God, and knowing that He's always there. And, it doesn't mean that just because you are a Christian and you serve the Lord, that everything's going to go perfect in your life. I mean, in I come from an incredible family, and that's true. And we've been greatly blessed in many, many ways. But it doesn't stop you from having tragedies. It doesn't stop you from, losing people that you love way too soon, or having bad things happen in your life. But I do know that no matter what happens, no matter what comes, I can rely on God. I can trust in Him, and I know He'll see me through it. Um, it might not always be the way I want to go through, but I know He's always there. And the poem about footprints in the sand. Uh, he's When you only see one set of footsteps, is because He's carrying you, and that's what He does. He carries you through it. And I could not make it through this life without the love and the guidance of the Lord. And I prayed every single day, just like Elvis did, and I raised my children and my grandchildren and now my great grandchildren, on the faith and love of Christ. And so if you're out there and you don't know Him, then you should get to know Him, because He will see you through anything and everything and bring you through the other side.
Beautifully said. If you mentioned the kids and the grandkids, and they're probably enamored or have been over the years about their relative Elvis Presley, just when they hear about or see him on TV or hear the music. Of
Uh-huh.
course, matter of a week or so, we'll hear Blue Christmas everywhere as well, and so much more. Um, Tell us about the kids and the grandkids, and how you've also been able to, in this situation, they're grounded as well, and they're doing well, and that comes from the guidance of the parents, and sort of the tone that you wanted to set, because there's so much swirling around them with that
Yeah.
name that
Right.
you can go in many different directions, but you've kept things to the best of your ability, warm and loving. And tell us about the kids and grandkids, and how they maybe are tickled by the fact that Elvis is a relative of theirs.
Well, of course, they're extremely proud, and thrilled of the fact of who he was, and what he accomplished in his life, and how he's still steadily touching people all over the world today, even though he's been gone for so long. And that's really important to them. But they've grown up in their own way. My oldest son is a farmer. My younger son is a physical therapist. And they love music, they love hearing it, they love listening to Elvis and other artists. But my mother was an Assembly of God minister, and so she kind of laid that ground rule as well, and that foundation for not only me but for my sons, and then my grandchildren. And of course, she died in '94, and that was before my grandchildren were born. But because of her faith, and the faith of my family, and the way that I was taught my entire life, they've grown up in knowing that the Lord is always with them, and He'll take care of them and provide for them, and lead them through whatever tragedy or disaster or problem that they may have, whether it's big or small.
And that's absolutely beautiful. It really is. You mentioned that statue, which was something quite special. Uh,
Yes.
Look at that.
Mhm.
So it really does look
It,
like he's giving his cousin that kiss on top of
it
her head.
it does. It really does.
That is special. For people that are watching, where's that statue again located?
It's in Bad Nauheim, Germany.
Mm.
And it's amazing. And if you ever get the chance to go there and follow in the footsteps of where Elvis stepped, you'll love every minute of it because it's fascinating and beautiful.
You know, America and Canada have always loved Elvis. But the reception that you do get from Europe is quite exceptional, isn't it?
It is. It really is because there's so many that are not able to come to the States, and feel his presence at Graceland or so forth. So to be able to go over there and stand in his stead to do that and let people, see what kind of person he was and what kind of family I grew up in and so forth. It means a great deal to them, and it means an exceptional amount to me.
You know, when you listen to the body of work and you again perform Elvis's material as well, do you have favorite Elvis songs that are your personal favorites, Donna?
I do. I mean, I love his obscure songs. I love "Let It Be Me." That's one of my all-time favorites, and I usually sing that. "Power of Love." I love that one. No one could sing a love song like Elvis could, but just I do have favorites. "Never Ending," "Just Ask Me," "Indescribably Blue." There's so many that are just so beautiful that but I do have my favorites. And "How Great Thou Art" is my all-time favorite, of course.
Oh yeah, you can never go wrong with that one.
No.
You mentioned having great songwriters. Have you penned a song or two? Is that something that you've wanted to delve into? Do you have like a drawer that has half-written songs and things of that nature? And if so, what inspires you to do that?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have that talent. I wish I did, but no, I've never really tried to pen a song or even a poem because it's just not in my talent reservoir.
My talent reservoir. I like that. You never know. You might,
Never say
like you
never.
say, never say never, right?
So we'll see what happens. Maybe I can collaborate with somebody and at least use a word or two.
Use a word or two. Exactly.
So I have helped a couple of people that I've worked with to go in a certain direction. Might use a phrase or a word that they would use that I use. So I guess I've helped collaborate on
I will
some.
help collaborate. How do you like to spend your holidays? The Thanksgiving, the Christmas, the New Year's. Does the family all gather and come together? And is everybody cooking, or do you do a lot of the cooking as well? How do you like to? I think we know the answer to that one. She
No,
decorates a nice tree. There it is. Unless that's a green screen. I mean, that's
no,
a real
no,
tree. I mean,
but
you're color coordinated, the
yes,
shirt, the hair, the walls, the couch. Very, very color coordinated. It's
thank you,
beautiful.
Jim. Thank you. I did
Yeah,
this just for you. Uh,
I appreciate that. The tree just went up 5 minutes ago just
yeah,
for us
put,
folks. Sh-
put it together.
She goes the extra mile. But how do you guys like to spend your family holidays?
Well, usually we go to my son's house. And he cooks, and his wife cooks too. And so, I might bring a dish or a dessert or something like that. But usually they do the cooking, and I show up, and we have a great time just being together. And now I have a little granddaughter. She's 16 months old, and then I have a 14-year, 12-month-old great grandchildren. So this Christmas is really going to be fun because they'll be tearing into everything. But we just like to spend family time together, and we laugh, and we play jokes on each other, and just have a good time, watch television together, and just things like that, and spend quality time together. And then that's Christmas Eve is when we do that. And then Christmas Day they usually go to their in-laws house and that sort of thing. So everybody gets to spend equal time.
It's really nice, like you say, having the grandkids and the great grandkids as well. Those are the things that really, with all the other things that surround the day
Yeah.
and make the day, those are the things that really make everything extra special, wouldn't you say?
It does. It really does. And my little granddaughter, that's 16 months old, Ellie Kay, she loves music. So we're hoping that she
Ooh.
the next, she'll carry on the legacy because she loves music. She'll get up and she loves Moana. So when she hears the music, she gets up and she starts dancing and she sings and she wants to play the piano. So I mean, I think she's going to be very musically inclined.
Isn't that great, huh? That's
Yes,
that's exciting, huh?
it really is.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
You know,
hopefully I'll be sitting in the audience watching her do
you'll
that.
be sitting in the audience rooting her on, absolutely.
Yes.
Maybe she'll end up on Dancing with the Stars. I mean,
Never,
everybody ends up on there. I'm surprised you're not on that yet.
I would love to do that. I really
Dancing with the
would.
Stars. Do you
Yeah,
you like dancing?
I
You
do
like
like dancing. I think that
Yes.
would be so much fun. I know it's a ton of work, and you get a lot of blisters, but I think that'd be lots of fun. So I would like to do that.
All right,
No, that,
ABC Disney. She's here. Get that jet fueled and fly her to LA, get her on Dancing with the Stars. That would be great. Are there any things like that where you wish that you could be a part of it or you'd like to be a part of it, even if it was a sitcom or something where they said, gee, Donna, you would be great. We'd love to have you in that.
yeah, I mean, anything that has a lot of intrigue or drama, things like that, detective shows, anything like that that has, it makes you think about, who did this and how did they do it. And I'm usually pretty good at figuring out, who did it before anybody else does. But yeah, something like that I would love to do.
So probably even like documentaries where they're
Yeah,
digging in deep and things of
yeah.
that
I've
nature.
several documentaries. So yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
That's kind of cool as well, the documentaries.
Mhm.
So you like mystery and intrigue
I
and
do. Yes.
figuring things out and detective work. I
Right.
could also see you. I mean, I have to say this setting where you are with the
Mhm,
couch and the
mhm.
walls and the tree, it almost looks like you're in a Hallmark movie.
I could do that. I would love to do that. Now that we're on the subject, I would love to do it. That'd be amazing. Yes.
Can you imagine that? So
Yeah.
Hallmark.
Oh, my, give me a
There's
call.
she's already got the setting, the lighting, it's all set up, my friends. I mean, I would say to do that. So with the 90th birthday bash,
Mhm,
which is a monumentous occasion, there's been
mhm.
so many celebrations of some of the iconic
Right.
stars from television and movies and music of late. Recently it was Carol Burnett's 90th and Dick Van
Okay.
Dyke's 98th and
Mhm.
even some of the TV series that we've even celebrated here on the Jim Masters show, like 50 years of Little House on the Prairie and the Waltons and 65th anniversary of Twilight Zone and 60
Oh,
years of Gilligan's Island and Bewitched. And the years just go on and on and on.
yes.
The fact that it's going to be a 90th for Elvis again is something really quite special. Even is it Pat Boone just turned 90? He was a guest on our show as well. Pat celebrating. They did a wonderful, nice thing for Pat's 90th as well in the
Mhm.
summertime. Um, you're quite excited about this, aren't you? The 90th
Yeah,
for Elvis.
I am. I really am. I mean, to be able to be there and be with the fans and be with the people who worked with him, who were friends of his and worked with him. And now I'm able to work with the same people and be on the same stage. And we become, really close and a really close knit family as well. I mean, it's a thrill for me to be on the stage with them and to work with them because they are tremendous entertainers in their own rights and so forth. But also such great people, very loving and warm and caring people, and to be able to call them my dear friends as well now, it's very important to me. I love it.
Absolutely. There's some of those names even here on the screen, which I think is so fantastic. And so there's going to be a lot of music and a lot of celebration and stories and everything, right?
Yes, there will be. It'll be a lot of fun. Last year was tremendous. We had a great time, and fans loved it. It was packed, And so this year I'm expecting it to be even bigger and better.
That is so cool. That is special. You really enjoy the time with the fans, right? You're carrying on the family legacy, and you're so approachable and warm about it, and you're so respectful. You realize when you when a fan comes up, your fan, an Elvis fan, and they're pouring their heart out about how much this has meant to them.
Mm.
You're very cognizant, and it really personally deeply moves you, doesn't it, Don?
It does. It really does. To know that someone that I related to and that I grew up with and that I loved and was loved by, to be able to see how he's touched their lives, or how in some way, my carrying on the legacy uh, is touching them and making a difference in their lives. Of course, it warms my heart, and it just, I mean, how could you not be touched by it? So, yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled and so blessed and so thankful for the opportunities that I'm given, and for all the people that I get to meet and talk to and be close to, and get to tell them stories about someone that they dearly love and look up to, and to know how he's touched their lives. And if, like I said, if I can continue to touch them, or do something for them, and help them in some way, and to give them some happiness, then, of course, I love every second of it.
Beautifully said. And he was very playful, right? He had a
Yeah.
quick wit and a funny sense of humor over the years, even at the house growing up when you were kids. Tell us maybe about a memory or something that maybe somebody doesn't know about, a funny moment shared with you and the family with Elvis.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Just being around him. One time that was really special to me was when the first time he met my oldest son, and my son was 3 months old, and he came into our grandmother's room, and my son was laying on the bed, and of course Elvis walks over and pats me on the head. Hey, Donnie, and how are you? He'd been at the swimming pool, he and Linda Thompson, and so he said, "Who is this?" And I said, "That's my son." And so he picks him. I said, "Can I pick him up?" I said, "Of course you can." So he picks him up and he takes him over and he sits him in the chair with him. And he's bouncing him on his knee and playing with him and kissing him on the back of the neck and all these sort of things like this. And my son had real fine hair, so his hair stuck straight up. So I kept a cap on him so it would, because it literally looked like he stuck his finger in a light socket because it just went straight up. And so I kept this cap on. Well, the cap fell off when Elvis was bouncing on his knee. Well, Elvis just saw the hair. He just died out laughing, thought it was so funny. Like I said, his laughter was so melodic. It was like, you couldn't help but laugh along with him. And so he said, "So what's his name?" And I said, "Stacy Aaron." And he just stopped and he looked at me and he said, "Aaron, that's my name." And I laughed. I said, "I know that, Elvis. I named him after you." And he was so touched. Tears came to his eyes. And, I knew he was fixing to get emotional. So just to keep from getting too emotional, he said, "Okay, so how do you spell it?" And I said, "Aaron." He said, "That's right." So he looks at my three, just to let you know the mindset of who he was and what he was about. He looks at my 3-month-old son and he says, "Stacy, when you get to be 18, you come see your old cuz. I'll put you to work." So and it makes me almost want to cry now. That's very special to me. It meant a great deal to me.
That is so beautiful. That really is very, very touching. And it just shows you um, the person behind
Mhm.
the image. Of course, there is image, but then there is a person. And sometimes, people forget that. They
Yeah.
forget they're very enamored by uh, the presentation, the image,
Yeah.
whatever it is the person does that they love doing,
Mhm.
whether it's singing or anything that they do, but that there is a human being with feelings and fear and worry and disappointment and happiness and that bleeds like all the rest of us, that cries and laughs like the rest of us. And you've gotten to see all of that as a family member. But sometimes people, they see only the one element, but they forget about the human side of a person as well, right?
Right, they do. But Elvis was just that. He was very human, and just such a loving and caring person. And one other time that and this is not a funny time that this happened, but it's very important to me. He walked into our grandmother's room, and I was spending the night at Graceland that night, and my grandmother had gone into the kitchen to get something to eat, or tell the maid something. And so Elvis walks in, he comes over, he sits down on the floor in front of my chair, and so he's talking to me and asked me what I wanted to do when I graduated high school, because I was just fixing to graduate, and who I was dating, and different things like that. And he said, Donnie, I envy you. And I said, I kind of laughed, and I said, Elvis, why do you envy me for? You're who you are. And he said, when you go out with a guy, he asks you out because he really wants to be with you. He wants to get to know you. And if you have a friend who wants to be a friend, it's because that they really want to get to know you, and they just want to be with you because of who the person that you are. And he said, I don't have that luxury. And he said, I never know if someone's with me because I'm Elvis or because I'm Elvis Presley. And, my mother had always said that Elvis was a bird in a gilded cage. And I never understood that until that night. And I realized that, here he was, the biggest entertainer in the world, and, millions and millions of people adoring him. And yet there were times he felt alone and lonely. And, when something like that happens and someone says something like that to you, and it really hits home to you that, being at the top is lonely at times and can be hard. But, and I truly believe that's the reason he wanted his family and close friends around him all the time, because there and again, he knew that we loved him no matter what, no matter who he was, no matter what he had or what he did. If he dug ditches, we'd still love him and adore him. So that was a very poignant time, and I've never forgotten it. And he asked me, he says, Donnie, what do you want to do with your life when you graduate? And I said, Elvis, right at this point, I don't really know what I want to do. And he said, well, you can do anything you want to do, and you can be anything you want to be if you will remember these 4 things. And I said, okay, what are they? He said, always have faith in God, always have faith in yourself, be willing to work hard for whatever you want, and never let anyone tell you that you cannot accomplish your dreams, because I'm living proof that you can. So when I speak to people, I tell people this, and I tell them, it doesn't matter what your dream is. It doesn't matter if it's something that you want to do your entire life and never been able to. Don't give up on that dream, because it can come true. Here I am, traveling the world and getting to do amazing and wonderful things and be with amazing and wonderful people all over the world, and meeting new people every day. And that's always been a dream. And, so never give up on your dream, and just keep going at it, because you never know. It can still come true.
That is an absolutely beautiful story, and taking us, on that journey of Elvis realizing, the people that are around me for the right reasons. Are they supporting me? Do they really care? And you being very astute to that as well, which I think is incredible. And when you do have that place to come back to where it's grounding and everybody is there, and they're supportive, and they're the ones who really do root you on, and they're there to lift you up when times are down, because not every day is perfect, and we all need lift. No matter what we do and how much light is on us, we all need lift every once in a while. And we also need to be allowed to lift others too, which is so important, which Elvis certainly has done through his body of extraordinary work, and you continue to do. And and others within the family as well. And even like with Lisa Marie, beloved Lisa Marie, uh, losing your father at so young, in that way, that's something that you really carry with you forever, whether your loved one is a major celebrity or just dad or mom or whoever it is, right? It leaves that impact. And sometimes it's difficult to move beyond because they are sort of like your rock, your beacon.
Hmm. And and that's so true. And bless Lisa Marie's heart. At 9 years old, losing her compass, her rudder in life. Uh, how difficult that was for her, and it made life very hard for her, and she struggled. And I so wish that there and again, you regret what you don't do more than what you do. And I regret that I didn't reach out more to her and let her know that there was family who that grew up with Elvis that loved and adored her too, and that we were always there for her if she wanted us to be. So if there's someone in your life that you haven't reached out to, don't hesitate to do that, because you never know. This might be the last time you get the chance to do so.
Absolutely. That's so beautifully said. And just make sure you do and do it as often as you can. And even if you're busy, and we all lead these busy lives these days, it's so important. Since we chatted last, obviously we've been through a lot of different things in our world and in our lives. What are some things that you have learned along the way about yourself, Donna? As much as we celebrate Elvis and the family and everything else, over the last couple of years, with self-exploration, what has Donna learned about Donna?
Not to take myself so seriously, to laugh and to if I mess up, and make a mistake and say or do something that's silly or whatever, just to own it and go on with it, and not to take life so seriously that you don't laugh, that you don't find the good points and the good things in life. My mom always used to say, it's always darkest before the dawn. And so I try to remember those things that she's taught me, and to learn that life goes on, and if you mess up or you make a mistake, just go on with it and try to do better the next time. So I guess that's what I've learned, is that I can do that. I can laugh. I can appreciate if I mess up, or if I do something stupid or silly, to just go ahead and okay, laugh about it and go on. And I think if we can all do that and realize that none of us are perfect, and that things are going to happen in our lives that we can't prevent and that we can't stop, but it's the fact of how you go through them. And that's one reason that I always say, thank God that I have the Lord in my life, because there's so many things that happen in your life that you can't make it through with on your own. And to accept the love and help from other people, and it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to realize that life's not perfect, and you're not either. So just make the best of it and go on.
And laugh. You gotta laugh, right? You gotta add that levity,
Out of lemons, I guess.
right? Or we call it levity here, love and levity. You really got to do that, and that's so true. Are these things that over time you've had to learn to do for yourself? Believe in yourself and laugh at the crazy things. Were you hard and demanding on yourself? Did you not cut yourself slack, striving for excellence, trying to have everything, all the ducks in a row, and it took time for you to lighten up even on yourself?
Yes, I have had a difficult time with that, because you always want, or I've always wanted to be the very best that I could be, no matter what. At whatever I did, I wanted to be the best at it, and just to strive for as close to perfection as I could. And I realize, now that I'm not, I'm not anywhere near perfect. So I might as well accept my faults and my failures and go on with it, because like that, like this, the truth is, the only time you fail is when you don't try.
Absolutely right. Yes, absolutely right. Have you ever thought of going into any sort of, I think you do it anyway through song and entertaining, but um, any motivational speaking, things of that nature? Because you do have that gift within you to inspire and empower others, and to, your personality and your smile and your laughter and your commentary is very disarming and very um, soothing and
Yeah.
comforting. You don't come at people loud and come on. You come at it in a joyful way.
Mhm.
I could see you doing motivational speaking and things of that nature as time goes on.
Well, I hadn't really thought about that until recently. A friend of mine who's in the business said, have you ever thought about doing motivational speaking?
See?
I said, well, no, but, I'll give it a shot. Why not? You try it. You got, like I said, only time you fail is when you don't try it. So yeah, I would love to do that. And so yeah, I have been thinking about that more and more.
So when she returns, she's going to be a motivational speaker and she will have done that skydiving, right?
Right.
And believe me, if you do skydiving, you're going to need a lot of motivational speaking before, during, and after.
A lot of prayer.
Is there anything else that you haven't done that has always been on the Donna Presley bucket list of, gee, one day I've always thought about doing this or taking that on, or it could be something completely different than what you've done in the field of entertainment and writing and everything else. Are there other things that still, tickle your fancy, Donna?
Yes, actually, I would love to have my own line of clothing or something, or because I love clothes, I love shoes, I love purses, everything that goes with it, I love. So yeah, I would love to do something like that. I think that would be amazing and fun, and I've always been one to kind of go with the classic look, more than trendy. Um, but yeah, that's something I'd like to do. Absolutely.
I mean, haven't you, even through your website, haven't you dabbled into like designs and things, right? Right.
I, but I'd like to go deeper and deeper
She
into
wants to actually, she, yeah.
if there are any designers out there that would like collaboration, just give me a call.
Yes, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, have you done sketches of designs and have you
I have done some of that. Yes.
yeah.
I would love to, be involved. Like, you see some of these beauty pageants and things. I'd love to be involved in something like that because I think that's very important. It teaches women to be strong within themselves and poised, and gives them a good foundation of how to be out in the world and address people and so forth. So yeah, I'd love to do something like that too. So there's still lots of things out there to conquer that I haven't done yet.
Well, you've been a glorious guest on the Jim Masters Show series several times, so that's definitely something you can check off. And you always have a home here with all of us as
Oh,
well. And
yeah. Oh, I love being on your show. It's fun. It's not work. It's fun. I love it.
we always have a good time, and we don't script it. It's free flowing. It's conversational. It's warm. It's easy. It's fun. And there's a lot out there where everything is overly prepared and scripted and pre-prepared questions and very stiff and interview like. This is much more of it's like we're having a cup of coffee together and conversing and catching up from last
Mhm.
time,
Yeah.
and sprinkling in some humor, which I think is such an important thing as well. And what is your wish for the new year and things that are coming up for you and the family and for the fans and everybody else down?
Well, just that everybody could have a loving and warm uh, and happy Thanksgiving with family and friends, and Christmas as well, and to reach out to people that you may have, had a confrontation with or whatever, and smooth those waters, and reach out to people that you haven't seen in a while, or something like that, other family members, because that's something I intend to do. And I want the same wish for other people, and that they can, their lives would be blessed, and that they would, you know, recognize that the Lord is there for them, and get to know Him on a personal level, and just wish them happiness and joy, and to be able to continue to do what I do, and hopefully touch other people along the way.
Which is so beautiful. And basically, what Donna is saying is that with prices the way they are for food and everything else, don't bother with any food fights over politics or anything else at dinner, because it's very expensive. You don't want to throw that food. You want to eat it. Right? Don't throw the food across the table if you don't agree with them. Eat those sweet potatoes. They're expensive.
Oil.
Right? If you're going to complain about the food prices, don't throw the food at each other. Eat it and enjoy it and be thankful.
Break bread together.
Exactly. Exactly. Always, always a joy, my friend, to have you here on our show. I really look forward when you're here, and you're always so gracious and warm and supportive and fun, and you always have some exciting details and things to share, and little back stories about Elvis too, which I know our fans enjoy, but also celebrating the family and you and your accomplishments, and keeping the legacy and the flame alive for Elvis, but also touching people through your body of work as well. And a mom, a grandmother, a great grandmother. There's a lot of beauty and blessing in your world as well, and that's so beautiful to see. And come see us again, my friend. That porch light, I said last time, we're going to keep that porch light on. It's always on for you. And
I'm
I truly
need me.
I hope you enjoy the time with me as much as I really do with you, Donna.
I do. I love it. It's so much fun. And anytime you just give me a call, you know where I am.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I always feel good when we're chatting. I'm left with just this joyous feeling. It really is. I feel like we grew up across the street from one another too, or that we're related.
We're old friends.
There's an automatic connection there, which is like a soulmate or something, which it doesn't always happen, and it's just really, really, really special. And a couple of comments from some of our faithful. Kathleen in New York City says, thanks, Donna, for coming back to see us. Love listening to you. Thanks for sharing your life with us. Always nice to see you, and wishing you continued blessings. You are so sweet. Take care. Yes, she is. I concur. And Maureen in Arizona, one of our faithful viewers, says, this has been absolutely wonderful evening in Lovety Hall. Remember Lovety? You're one of our Jim Master Show Loveties. Love and Lovety together.
Loveties, yes.
Absolutely. You are definitely a JMS Lovety. Thanks so much for coming back to chat with Jim, and come back again soon. You're truly a beautiful human inside and out.
Thank you.
I agree as well. Thanks for all these beautiful comments from everybody. And Andrew is watching, says hello from Montana,
hello,
USA.
Andrew.
And beautiful comments. Thanks, everybody. And don't forget, you can leave a comment below as well. Give this episode a like and a thumbs up. We would love that. And there's the website for Donna. We've been showing that during the course of the show. Keep abreast of cool things, exciting things she's working on as well. Donna, we love you, and you are really a delight. And
thank you.
Again, congratulations on everything, and come see us again. And thanks for your always generosity of time. You never say, hey, 9 minutes, get it all in and out. You just let it roll, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
I am what I different. Take me as I am.
And we wouldn't want it any other way. It's fabulous just as is. You are fabulous just as you are. And you did a beautiful job with the color coordination of everything. When she goes into the blue room with the blue couch and the blue walls, she'll wear a blue sweater. When she goes into the green room with the green couch, green walls, she wears the green sweater. That's it, right? That's consistency.
Right. Oh, of
And
course.
she put the tree up behind her just for us folks, just for the Jim Masters show. She put that up she had one hand trying to plug in the video as she's putting the star on the tree.
Well, see, that's the truth behind why I couldn't get the video to work right.
But worth the wait as always, my friend. As always. We love you, Donna Presley.
Love you too.
Blessings to the family. Hi to everybody. Definitely come see us again. Of course, spread the word about our show to everybody. If you know other folks you think would like to stop in, they're all welcome. Jane's in Sweden. Thanks, Donna, for coming to see us. Great to see you again. Thank you, Donna. Thanks, Jim, for bringing her back. Absolutely. She's watching in Sweden, our international viewers. You be well. Best of the holidays and the new year. We will stay in touch. I hope we get a chance to break bread in person. And you wanted to say something to the viewer?
Yes, I do. I want to wish everyone out there who celebrates Thanksgiving a wonderful, blessed, and happy Thanksgiving, and a wonderful Christmas with family and friends and love and sharing everything that you have. So everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm very happy and safe Christmas.
You as well. You as well. And we're all in it together, everybody. Always remember, no matter what happens in the world, we're all in it together because the world spins much smoother on its axis when we are together.
Amen.
And it's always great being together with you, Donna Presley. Come see us again. We love you. And again, truly, I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I absolutely have with you.
Believe me, I do. Well, I've had a ball. It's wonderful.
You be well, my friend, okay?
You too.
Merry and happy, and we'll talk again soon.
All right.
Bye-bye now. Donna Presley here on the Jim Masters Show, a return visit, and what a fantastic one, and what a beautiful blessing, for holidays and for the new year and everything else she's celebrating with us here on the show. Some great stories, some beautiful stories about her life and the things she's working on, but also some amazing stories about, of course, Elvis, the incomparable entertainer and also actress too. She talked about the film that she's going to be in, and we're excited about that. And also a wonderful singer and author, and she's traveling the world celebrating the Presley name, the legacy, Elvis, of course, her first cousin, and also her incredible career. We really love having her here. And we also love that she honors her cousin Elvis in such a beautiful way, shares authentic, real stories. This is very proud of him. And we're also very happy for, all the blessing in her life too, her grandkids, her kids, grandkids, great grandkids. She's going to have a joyous holiday season with all of them as well, right? Such a beautiful soul, such a wonderful person. She's been with us on a number of occasions, and we've absolutely loved having her here. She's a deep friend of our show, a dear friend of ours, and she is one of the best, one of my favorites, joining us here on the Jim Masters Show with her wit and wisdom. And as you can see, she loves to laugh. She loves to have a good time. And before we went on the air live, we were having a heck of a time laughing because, sometimes the video and the audio doesn't always work. And she's trying every which way to get things to plug in. And, it was very, very funny. And she lets it roll, which I think so do I too, because you have to, when you're in any of these industries or in life, you just got to let things roll and you just make the best of it. And she came on and she knocked it out of the park. She's a pro, but she's also a wonderful soul as well. Donna Presley joining us once again, return visit exclusively here on the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Absolutely connect with us. Let us know, proud and loud. Give this episode a like on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. There's a like, thumbs up. Click that. Share this on your social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out all the other great episodes. The YouTube channel is Jim Masters TV. Click the notification bell so you never miss any episodes too. And of course, drop a comment if you enjoyed this episode with our very special guest, Donna Presley, returning to our series. Definitely leave a comment right there below on the YouTube channel underneath the episode and interact with us. Let us know about what you enjoyed about this conversation, maybe some terrific Elvis memories. Maybe you had a chance to meet Elvis, or you've just always admired the music icon, Elvis Presley, one of the greatest ever, and blessed to have had opportunities to see him in person. Many of you I know have as well. And if you're super fans of everything Presley, we welcome you. We welcome all the super fans of Elvis Presley and of Donna. And if this is your first time watching our series, welcome to the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series. Again, we thank our wonderful friend Donna Presley for joining us here on the program. She really is a delight. She's a spirited person. And again, that Elvis Presley 90th birthday bash happening in Nashville, and then also over in Europe and Austria and through Germany is something really, really special. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm your host, Jim Masters. We love having you here as well. And you can binge watch past episodes. There are hundreds of them archived for you on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. More great guests coming up. And guests from all walks of life, celebrity friends and special friends that stop by our show to entertain, put a smile on our face, share some stories, some exclusive behind-the-scenes stories as well, and so much more. And Donna Presley doing just that for all of us. We thank her and we thank you. Don't forget to love one another, take care of one another, and don't forget to do the very same for yourself. Come see us again right here at Liberty Hall and the Jim Masters Show. Be well, take care. Thanks for being with us. We'll catch you on the next one on JMS. Cheers.